It's time for everyone's favorite game show. It's HorrorTown's cringy Valentine's Day update! Yay! Now, our first cringy update was that back in 2020 when we had our new character Ellie come in. That is Poison Lake. Ooh! Our second cringy update, that was last year. In 2023, we were introduced to that of the dummy in their cringy past. I'm talking about Bride of the Living Dummy.
Wait.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, comes our last entry that just happened recently this year. And it's going to be involved with puberty.
Wait.
Hello, boys and ghouls. Welcome back to Goosebumps HorrorTown. This is Event 30's limited time introduction of sorts, or Part 0. And yes, hi, this is the new year of 2024. And hopefully we actually get good, decent content update this time around. And yes, as I kind of hinted in my cringy point in the beginning there as a joke, yeah, we have Valentine's Day update. Now, mind you, it's a little bit delayed, but to be fair, it did land on Valentine's Day, so I'll give them some credit there. But yes, let's go ahead and talk about what the theme of it's going to be. Well, it's actually called that of My Hairy Valentine. And before we go ahead and talk about the subject matter, I just want to point out with this logo here, I really dig the person who made it. Because if you look at the Valentine, like My Hairy Valentine logo, it kind of fits the HorrorTown aesthetic. Except you see that it's kind of like wavy, so it kind of gives off the hair look, which is really, like, I love that little keen eye to detail there. Now, I do apologize on it looking a little wonky. Unfortunately, I had to make this on my own, and I digress. Anyways, with a name like that, you might be thinking that, oh, this is based off My Harry's Adventure, right?
No.
Well, you'd be wrong, because despite having hair in the name, or Harry in the name, it has nothing to do with that book. No, instead it has something to do with another book. Something entirely weird and you might not even realize. And that, my friends, is this one. How I Met My Monster. Yes, this is our first official Most Wanted book that isn't a special book. So this is quite interesting that they decided to go with this angle of the route. Now, what's funny about this is that sometime when 2019 hit, when we had our first werewolf fairy themed update, which was Valentine Night Fever, which I feel like this game's kind of this is kind of like the spiritual successor to that, because we'll never get that update again. But this is the best version we're gonna get. So yeah, it's quite interesting that we actually get this as the theme here. But one thing I do want to point out is that the book cover, there's an interesting fact with this one. First of all, as you can see, it says I love wolves with the weird werewolf creature monster thing there. And originally, it actually wasn't wolves, it was actually werewolves, as you can see here. So yeah, he was a little bit darker too, so, or a little bit kind of blurred, like paled in a sense, but I think that's just because of the fact of where they got the source material from, as you'll probably see during this series, but whatever. But yeah, a better picture of this is basically this here with the actual picture of it. So we're going to be using this as our background to kind of go from talking about what the story is about. But my theory on why they decided to pick this book out of nowhere was probably because they looked at the heart and they're like, oh, heart! That's like love! Valentine's about love! The Heart Day! And honestly, I swear, this was one of the reasons I also decided to say, oh, maybe if it's werewolves, then Valentine's, that's perfect. But would you like to know this book had nothing to do with werewolves? Oh yeah, you probably might not know this. So let's go ahead and dive into the book in case you aren't familiar. So here we go. So, all you need to know is that this story is talking about a kid by the name of Noah Beanstalk. And before you think about it, Bean is spelled B-I-E-N, not B-E-A-N. And I feel like his last name being Beanstalk is going to be a key note here, because ever since moving forward, all his friends, most people he knows, especially their parents, or his parents, calls him Bean. That is the name he goes by. So if I say Bean, doesn't know what I mean Noah. So there you go. I don't know why. I guess it's just a cute pen name. But yeah, Bean is a bit of a... Oh, see, I'm doing it now. So anyways, Bean is a shy kid who has this anxiety with him because he's been dreaming about a monster coming after him, right? And he's feeling like, oh god, this is pretty bad. Like, I can't deal with this. So his father owns an exotic pets shop. I'm not sure what that entails, but okay. Animals you can't get anywhere else. And his mother is a astroscientist, so basically someone who's good when it comes to putting spaceships up in the air, or basically throwing stuff up in space. Anyways, with that in mind, he goes and talks to his friend named Liza, and Liza and him are living in a thing called the Sturm House. And the Sturm House is an apartment complex. And it's weird that they call it the Sturm House because you wouldn't think an apartment building would be called a house. That defeats the purpose. But they don't divulge. They just, whatever. Maybe the person's last name is House and it's just the Sturms. I don't know. Let's not think about it. But anyways, yeah, poor Bean. He's kind of suffering with this whole monsters coming after me kind of bit. And he ends up meeting a new kid by the name of Monroe. Now, Monroe was described as being a little bit of a bigger kind of like kind of a jock kind of character in a sense. And, he ends up being friends with Bean as well as Liza. So he also lives at the Sturm House. So, yeah, look at that. Like, he meets a new friend. Although, Noah could have sworn, he's been seeing things. He's been noticing weird things going on. Like, could have sworn a monster is kind of arguing in the back of a kitchen place that he to go eat at. He could have sworn that there was a monster inside the apartment. Yeah, all these little things here that's kind of giving... It's like almost at the point where he gave him an anxiety attack or a panic attack. So you can tell this kid is kind of like on edge. So eventually he ends up coming across a monster that kind of like spooks him. And he's like... And he has this suspicion that he thinks it's the new kid Monroe, right? So he's like, are you Monroe? And the monster's just like, maybe. So he doesn't really they don't go ahead and tell you who it is. So, and they don't describe what the monster, it's just a monster. So, although the artist, Brandon, depicted it as a werewolf, it's not a werewolf. It's just a monster. But I'm getting to there. Anyways, so later on, he comes across another monster that comes after him. And he's like, who are you? Why are you doing this to me? And it turns out it's his friend Liza. And Liza is just like, I'm just trying to help you, Bean. And he's like, no, get away from me, because obviously he just found out his friend, he thought who was his friend, is a monster. So he's like running to Monroe. He's like, Monroe, you gotta help me. Liza's a monster, right? And of course, the weird thing too is that she tells him, friends don't tell other friends about, right? Like, I just showed you my secret. You better not tell anybody, right? So he goes and tells Monroe, and then he kind of goes, friends don't tell other friends, Bean, which is weird. Why would he do that? And then he finds out that he's also a monster. So now he has two friends that he thought were friends are actually monsters. And it's getting to a point where he starts to kind of get scared, nervous, and he doesn't know. Like, he thinks the monsters are going to come after him and eat him and all that stuff, right? And then it kind of builds up, and it's kind of like this interesting kind of conflict. Like, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what this whole thing's going to be. And then here comes the twist, which from what I've seen from people who reviewed this video, of this book, this was the one where they kind of go, oh, this is disappointing. Like, this is the worst twist. So here it is, and I'm going to spoil it for you because this event is taking place after this book. So it turns out that everyone in the Sturm House complex is in fact a monster. So that means Liza, Monroe, even Beans' parents are monsters. So the monsters live in this complex house for the sole purpose of because, hey, it's a community of monsters. They get to be together, all right? Whatever. And it turns out he himself is a monster too. But what you might be wondering, then why were they scaring him? Well, because they were trying to scare the monster out of him. And Beans' mother is just like, let me help you. And she comes out with this thing called the Monster Helper. So he's like, drink this, Bean. So he drinks it, and then poof, he's a monster now. And he looks in the mirror, and then he smiles because he just realized the monster he was running was himself. He met his monster, and it was him. So, anyways, he's happy now. He gets to hang out with his friends who are also monsters, and he's just like, I'm gonna go after that bully. Like, you know, he's not gonna mess with me ever again. Unless, of course, the bully is also a monster, which then it would be kind of like awkward. But, yeah, it's a weird, fun twist, and, you know, it's just that kind of weird twist. But, you know, I guess what... I'll save it till the very end of this video, so... Yeah, anyways, that's the whole point of the book. So yeah, the book itself is quite fun indeed. I do enjoy it. And we're now going to take a look at the patch notes real quick and kind of show you what to expect. So let's go ahead and read it. And here it is. Come to HorrorTown to celebrate the lovely Valentine. The love and hair are in the air. Come and experiment the new story of love made specifically for wolves. Feel the terror with the werewolf gang and their howls. If you have lucky, perhaps you will meet you monster. I'm sorry. If you have lucky, perhaps you will meet you monster. Oh boy, I feel bad. I feel like the teacher that I'm basically just grading this, and it's like that's bad grammar there. I think he meant to say, if you're lucky, perhaps you will meet your monster. Whatever. New content. 13 new event narratives, which is, you know, one extra compared to the last time, so that's kind of cool. The bad luck number 13, which is in case of good luck for us. Characters. Meet Noah, a charm kid who will bring new monsters to the town. I think you mean charming? Alright, God. Monsters. Enter the Sternum house to meet the gang. Monroe and Liza are waiting for you. Items. Get the wolf flower, love necklace, wolf bouquet, bitten chocolate box, and the monster helper. Decorations. Scare your town by Mr. Peeper's home. Barbie's statue. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. This is just from the last event we had. Oh, okay. So not only do you not know how to pronounce things properly with grammar, but it seems like you failed to do your copy-paste job and change that. So I guess the decoration is going to be a mystery. We're going to have to find out in part 1. Ooh, wonder what new items are coming. But anyways, so animations. Wait for Noah, make the milkshake dance, oh god, and try to know what is happening. Complete the event and collect creepy rewards. So yeah, that was a mess in itself, but yeah, anyways, a new character, Noah. So Noah is going to be our character coming forward, and he's going to be quite interesting indeed. And as they teased, the monsters this time around are classified as werewolves. So you might be curious, yes, all 3 of them are werewolves. I can't show you Liza and Monroe because unfortunately I didn't get proper screenshots of them. So unfortunately, you just get this silhouette that they've made in-game, so I wonder who that might be. I guess you'll find out later. But yeah, anyways, with that short introduction out of the way, now you understand what's coming up. So, let's go ahead and go to the number 1. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and yeah, we'll go from there. I've been Grim, and this has been the introduction to My Harry Valentine, the event 30, for our first event in 2024, our 4th Valentine's Day update. Until then, I guess in what they say is that, you know, the monsters is the friends we met along the way. God, that's cringe.